Hello, welcome to this video. So this is going to be a pretty impromptu video just talking about how I've found the last 2 years of creating videos for YouTube, and I can't believe it's been so long, honestly. I thought it would be a good opportunity to reflect, to share my experiences and to practice building in public, which is the idea that rather than building everything secretly, you share your progress as you're making progress with people that might care about it so that you can sort of increase your surface area for serendipity and increase your chances of success. So that's sort of what I'm doing today. I've been really enjoying the process of building my YouTube channel, and while it's not the biggest channel by any stretch at the moment, I just find that it's so fun and I'm really sort of enjoying that process. It definitely has its challenges, so yeah, I'm going to be sharing the highs, the lows, the things that I've found difficult, and my sort of aspirations for what I want this channel to become in the next year or so, I suppose. If you're also building a YouTube channel or a similar type of creative project, then I hope that this can be a nice sort of friendly conversation. I find that these sorts of videos are really comforting and a nice sort of motivation to keep going. So if that's you, then keep going, and I hope that you enjoy this video, just having a little chat about YouTube and about my process and how I've found everything so far. So for anyone who has never watched a video of mine before or doesn't know who I am, I'm Lucy, I'm 24 and I live in London, and things look very different from when I started my YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel 2 years ago when I was just finishing my degree at the University of Nottingham. So I was living in Nottingham, finishing up my studies, sort of finalising my thesis and all of that fun stuff. At that time, I was about to embark on a 4.5-month trip around Southeast Asia and Australia, which is all documented in the early stages of my YouTube channel, which you can watch in this playlist here. I think it's so cool having all of those videos to look back on from that chapter of my life. And yeah, I'm really glad that I picked up the camera and started recording at that point, because yeah, there's just so much that happened that it's so fun to reflect on and look back on. When I started my channel, I was really just looking for a creative outlet, somewhere to put my thoughts and to document things that were happening in my life, and that sort of key reason for doing YouTube hasn't changed. I still really think that there's so much value in long form content and in documenting your life in that way. I've always been a YouTube person. I used to love watching YouTube throughout all of my teenage years, and I still do. And yeah, I suppose I just saw myself as someone who would get a lot of value out of the creative process and documenting what I was up to. I'm quite sentimental as well, so it's nice to sort of have that to look back on. And yeah, I suppose since then I have secured a graduate job. I've done that for the last year and then have been made redundant. I'm now about to start a new job, so it's just like, it's been a lot of things happening in the last 2 years, so it's really cool that I've had this channel as sort of a constant to document all of that and have a record of most of it at least. Yeah, in a little bank of things I can look back on. And if you're in the position of looking to start a YouTube channel, or maybe you've created a few videos and you're finding it hard to sort of get the momentum going, something that I found to be really motivating was thinking about my future self and thinking about how cool it would be for her to look back on this chapter and just to have a bit of fun with documenting things. So the first video that I made for YouTube was this one, where I was talking about 10 sort of mindset shifts and things that I was hoping for in the next year. Recently I've made some similar videos to this, which are like a letter to my past self and a letter to my future self. And I suppose originally the idea of my channel was really just to have this sort of free space for any feelings, any thoughts, anything that was coming up in my life, and just really having this like space to be free and however I wanted to express that. I suppose along the way, as I've tried to refine my process and improve my video production, things have become a bit more streamlined and a bit more thought out and a bit more planned and structured. But yeah, recently I've just been really enjoying stripping it back a bit and speaking more openly, more honestly, just sort of riffing a bit like I did when I had my podcast. And that's sort of another aspect of the whole like origin story, is that before my YouTube channel I was creating a podcast for like 3 years, and that was such a great experience for me, and just building something and developing my ability to speak and developing my ability to sort of create ideas and formulate them into something that was worth listening to. And I suppose more recently I'm seeing that that's sort of the part that comes most naturally to me. It's not necessarily the filming in public and the being out and about and like getting the cool shots. It's just the sitting down and talking to a camera. And I think that somewhere along the way I've sort of tried to shape it into more of a produced version of that. But the part that is my like USP is just being able to chat about my experiences. And while that is scary and vulnerable and something that is difficult to sort of back yourself on, and like putting that out there is difficult to back yourself on, I think that's the thread that I need to sort of string throughout my videos, because that's what gives them life and what gives them emotion and what makes them relatable. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that if you're someone that's watched a few of my videos. Leave me a comment and let me know if that's accurate and if that's why you come back to watch more of my videos, or if there's like some other thing that makes you come back, because I suppose I'm just figuring it out. I'm still figuring out everything. Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to lean more into, trying to be a bit more open and transparent and sort of approach this a little bit more like the attitude that I had with my podcast and just letting things come out. I thought it might be interesting to share some of the highs and lows of creating videos for YouTube over the last 2 years, and I'll start with the highs and then speak about some of the challenges and the things that I find difficult. First of all, the first high is all of the travel videos that I have documenting various trips that I've been on and various different experiences, because just like selfishly on a personal level, it's so nice to have that record of past me and everything that I got up to and like how I was feeling at that certain point in my life, because it really like brings back your memories when you can watch it in video form. There's something so special about video. I feel really, really lucky that my parents filmed so much of my childhood, and I can like literally have a record of me growing up throughout all of my childhood years. And so now it's sort of fun to like get to do that for myself and get to create a record of my life in the chapter of life that I'm living at the moment. In a way, it's giving something to my future self and sort of keeping her in mind in whatever I'm doing. And I find that there's something really valuable in that. There's something really sort of connective to yourself. The second high is sort of developing my style and like finding my way of creating videos that is distinctly different from other people's. I don't know if I'm like there yet. I'm definitely still figuring all of that out, and I think that there's so much more room to grow in colour grading, in creating really catchy hooks and the like packaging of the videos, in more cinematic shots and sort of the like filming of it. I think there's just so many different aspects of the production process, which is so fun and something that I just really enjoy. You never really get bored, because on any given video there's a million different ways that you could improve it by 1%. So it's about sort of picking that little area to improve in each video, and obviously like you can't do everything at once, so it's a long game, and that sort of infinite game is really fun. The third thing that I love about making YouTube videos is just seeing the increasing self-confidence and seeing the increasing value that I have in the things that I'm making, and also the decreasing cringe that you experience when someone's like watching your video or someone tells you that they watched your video. I used to find that incredibly uncomfortable, but I suppose it shows that there's like self-growth in not judging yourself as much for what you're doing, which, don't get me wrong, is a work in progress, but it's nice to sort of see that decrease over time and to find an increased confidence in what I'm doing and trusting myself that what I'm doing matters, even if it's just mattering to me. Like, that is important in itself. And yeah, it's just a nice sort of exercise in all of the sort of other aspects of personal development that I'm working on in my life in general. To have something that is a consistent practice is just a nice sort of way to see the progress in an external project. And the final thing that I just love is when people leave really lovely comments on my videos, or when someone sends me a really lovely message to say, oh, I watched your video and it really like made my day, or it was something so nice to watch after a tough day at work, or just made me smile, or even just like, oh, I liked it, you know, like that is so lovely and just means so much that someone would take time out of their day to watch my videos. And as the numbers slowly increase, it's just, yeah, you have to like really pinch yourself that that is not just another view, that's like someone else choosing to watch your video. So yeah, thank you, because I really love it and it just makes my day when you've put like hours of work into a video. To have someone watch it and like give you really nice feedback is so nice. So yeah, thank you. I suppose on the flip side, things that are difficult are when you put hours and hours and hours of work into a YouTube video and it just doesn't really get any views, or you don't get any sort of comments, or no one like says that they've enjoyed it. Because whilst the process is like something that I really enjoy, it does mean a lot to sort of have people's responses, and it is hard when people don't like see any value in it. Or particularly I've found recently when I've been putting more effort into sort of the concept behind a video, or the way that I'm packaging it, or the way that I intend someone to get value out of it, when you've like put more thought behind it, it just sort of is like more frustrating when nothing happens. Like, especially my goal for the year is to reach 1,000 subscribers, so I've been like slowly creeping towards that figure, and it's just like it doesn't happen in the way that you expect it to, and it doesn't necessarily follow like a linear path. And that sort of reframing of the reasons why you're doing it and the long-term gratification, I don't know, there's just like so many different ways that you have to train your brain and like reshift your mindset to keep going, and like to have that determination to keep going towards your goal, even when it just seems like there's nothing happening and there's no growth occurring. Reminding yourself that it's not just about the numbers, and like it's not the only metric of growth, is difficult, but like also a positive, because it's training your muscle and like training your ability to keep going and to be determined. And there's a lot of lessons that you learn from creating YouTube videos that I didn't necessarily anticipate when I started. Another thing that's sort of similar is when you create a video that you're not really happy with, but you've put so much effort into it. And also I think that there's value in overcoming like perfectionist tendencies. Like, it's hard to create something that you've put like loads of work into and it's just not quite how you wanted it to turn out. Like, that's hard in itself, but then also putting it out there anyway is like, it's frustrating. But I just know that like that's the way to get to where I want to go, is just keep repeating something even if it's not what you envision it to be. Like, I find this with art as well. I have an idea for a painting or a photo or something that I want to do, and it just doesn't turn out the way that I wanted it to, because I haven't put the reps in to get to that point. It's like if you're in the gym and you expect yourself to be able to just squat 80k off the bat with no like practice or no repetition over the weeks and months before, it's just not going to happen, at least not for me. So it's like adjusting expectations and putting the effort in anyway, and trusting that you're going to get to the point that you want to get to, even if you just can't see how you're going to be able to do it. So that's difficult, but yeah, like worthwhile. I feel like if you're someone who is considering starting a YouTube channel or has recently started one, and you have this sort of aspiration for what you think it could be, keep that in mind, because that is going to fuel you through the difficult parts of putting loads of effort in and not really seeing any results, or creating videos that you're not quite happy with but you feel that you should put out anyway because it's like where you need to get to. It's so important to have that end goal in mind and to be able to just trust yourself that you will get there if you are consistent and continue like making those small improvements over time. It's gonna work out. And like, I'm saying this as someone that it hasn't worked out yet. As I record this, I'm on 635 subscribers, so it's not like masses of growth in 2 years by any stretch. Firstly, I think it's because the first load of videos that I put out were travel videos, and then since I've pivoted, but the people that originally watched the videos have subscribed, aren't necessarily interested, so then YouTube's like not feeding it to the right people. that's the first reason. And also second reason is that I haven't been that consistent. I have tried but it's just like, it's difficult to be consistent, and it's difficult to continually prioritize making your videos, especially when there's like other things that come up, and there's always going to be other things that come up. So that's also hard. I struggle with consistency. But I suppose to close this up, at the moment I'm working on a 90-day challenge, which is from this video from April in Alta. She sort of talks you through a 12-week step-by-step process of how she's grown her channel over the years, and she really encourages you to do like little check-ins and to share your process as you're going and to be really consistent with it. So yeah, this is me like putting out imperfect videos, just sort of keeping the momentum going. And this video is part of that challenge. So yeah, follow along for more, subscribe, I would really appreciate that. And I just want to say, if you're someone who is a YouTuber and you're creating YouTube videos and you are enjoying it but find it really difficult, like, you're not alone. This is something that is worthwhile for you to persist with and continue putting your effort into. It's not always going to be easy, and that's okay. And I don't know, I just wanted to like share these thoughts because I think I would have really appreciated seeing this video when I started my channel 2 years ago, and to also see like the growth in the confidence in me talking to a camera, and the growth in my ideas, and having that whole bank of like memories that I've got on my channel now. It's just so worth it, even if the subscriber count isn't what I maybe thought it would be 2 years ago. It's still so worth it. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end of this one. I know this is just like a very off-the-cuff video, so thank you, and I will see you in the next one. We've got some exciting videos coming up. I'm going to Prague and Vienna very soon, so you can expect some videos from my little trip there with Freya. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. If you did like this video, then you might like this one, which is me writing a letter to my past self, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!